Welcome to the Artcast. I know it's been a long time since I've done an Artcast. I'm really sorry that it took this long for me to put something together. I'm very sorry about that, but I do want to thank you guys for waiting, for your patience, and just for watching my videos in general and even supporting me. No matter how you choose to support me, I really want to say thank you guys for all of that. It's really great to see that people even enjoy these videos. Especially the Artcast. I always say this every episode. I feel like, but the Artcast is a little project of mine that I just want to just keep focusing on and working on, and it's just nice to see people enjoy these little this video series. It's a little passion project, I guess you could call it. But anyways, let's get into why you clicked on the video. Let's talk about the art book that I have here that I'm going to talk about. It is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Creating a Champion, the Breath of the Wild art book. This is a very thick art book. If you're looking for an art book that has a lot of content, a lot of art, a lot of just stuff to go through, this is a perfect book for you. It is $25 on Amazon, I believe. I think maybe even Barnes & Noble has it for that much, but they probably have it for 40, so keep that in mind. But if you go on Amazon, they have it for 25. Definitely worth $25. It's even worth the asking price on top of that. So, if you remember from the last Artcast, I talked about the Fire Emblem Awakening art book and saying that how that art book is full of art and style and all this other stuff, etc., etc. Before Fire Emblem, I always thought Zelda was the franchise Nintendo pumped out that had a lot of art being put into it, because there's a lot of races that you have to draft, a lot of um, mythology they have to create as well. So I always figured that Zelda had a lot of art being put into it until Fire Emblem, obviously. But I always wanted an art book from Zelda. I always wanted one, and the closest we got was the Hyrule Historia, which was okay. It was an okay art book. It was mostly released to give us a timeline of the Zelda games, and I never really thought that people would be happy with it regardless. I am fine with that timeline. I'll say it, but overall, that book, I mostly was interested in it because it had Skyward Sword artwork. It had like an abridged version of other Zelda artwork from other Zelda games. Like they had stuff from the original Zelda all the way to Twilight Princess, even Skyward Sword, even they had drafts of Sheik for, I think, Melee and Brawl, or mostly Brawl. I think they went with Brawl because they wanted to make her look more like a Twilight Princess kind of aesthetic to it. So it's interesting. Hyrule Historia is an interesting book on its own, but it never really gave me what I wanted. I wanted a pure Zelda art book. They gave us arts and artifacts, which is okay. It's an okay book. Not my favorite because there's a lot of like art you've seen before just compiled in a big book. It's nice for a fan. Like, it's nice if you're a hardcore fan of Zelda. That's a nice book to have. But if you're just looking for an art book, be it Zelda themed, I don't think the arts and artifacts is gonna really do much for you. While the Hyrule Historia really does offer a lot. I think they even included a comic in there as well, which is okay. It's an okay comic, but so I always wanted a pure Zelda art book, and here we have it, our very first one, Creating a Champion. This is only pertaining to Breath of the Wild, and the one thing I love about this book as well is that since it came out after the DLC came out, they also include the DLC designs and ideas that they had. This covers concept art, it covers all the way to the final product. It is a nice collection of artwork. There's some art styles that I didn't really love in this book. Like the one that they have is the image of Link when he was like riding the motorcycle. Like one of the early drafts of Breath of the Wild. I didn't really love that, but the one thing I will say about this that I really want to mention, because a lot of art books, they try to have some cohesive style or pacing to it. Like Persona 5, you'd go through some pages and it would have like, okay, character artwork, gameplay artwork, concept art, and the concept art was mostly like sketches of it, like with the ink sketches, etc. Here you see a huge range of styles. Like you really do get into the thought process that Nintendo had with Breath of the Wild. You see all kinds of artwork and styles that they were throwing into this game until they found the style that they stuck with. And it wasn't a lot of experimentation they did, but you could definitely tell in this art book that there was stuff that they were going through with this game that they were experimenting with. And that's obvious in the gameplay as well. In Breath of the Wild, you see in that game that there's a lot of experimentation being put into it. A lot of it is harping back to the original Legend of Zelda as well, but a lot is also experimental with what they're doing with this franchise. And you do see bits of that in this book. They even go into some of the commercial artwork that they put out. Like, a lot of commercial artwork you see isn't really deep or outside of look how cool this is, or some composition. Like some have some thought put into it, but at least from recent memory that I'm thinking of, Breath of the Wild did have a artwork where it's actually like a passing the baton almost. Like, it's kind of setting up people to understand that this might circumvent some expectations with it. This book contains also commentary from the developers of Zelda, so I don't know if it's necessarily just one person, if it's the director or it's the art director. I don't know who necessarily is going through this. I'll have to look into it again. It's been a while since I read this book. But you see a lot of cool designs. The first one you're obviously going to go through is Link. You see a lot of his designs, and I like what they landed on. I like the blue shirt. I like how different he looks from the traditional Link that you've seen before. So I do love that you get to see all these kind of iterations. You see also changes with Zelda. You see some of the concepts they worked on. Some look okay, some didn't. And I like looking through art books as well, seeing concept art for characters, seeing what designs they stuck with, what did they have in mind, and in some of the cases you understand why they changed the character the way that they did. While you would see in other regards, like a design that looks really good and they didn't go with it, you're just like, what? They didn't go with that? Breath of the Wild has a good balance of that. You see a good, you see a few designs that you might have liked. You also see designs that's like, yeah, I could see why they did not stick with this. There's stuff I might not love about the designs in some of the characters, like Zelda's ceremony dress, that white dress she wears, that one cutscene. I didn't really love that dress. It looked very bland, and it kind of made Zelda look weird. Body wise, and it kind of makes her look fat. I'm not like not in a terrible way, but it just makes her look weird. The whole thing made Zelda look weird when she was in that blue outfit, the hero's outfit or whatever. That's a good design. I like that design. It's very pushing of the character. There's a lot of designs of Zelda in this that kind of fall back on traditional Zelda designs. Like you have the pink dress, you have the little headgear, I guess, as well. You have all kinds of designs that hark back to the original design of a princess. So I do like that they actively try to change her design to be more, to give her more of a role in the game. That is debatable in my opinion, because in Breath of the Wild, Nintendo tried to push her out of that mold, and then within the story, it kind of put her back into the place that she was. So it didn't really do a lot for her, but it tried. So I appreciate what Nintendo tried to do with Zelda. They were close, but I just think that they fell a little off from what they wanted to do with Zelda in this game. And again, that's not necessarily saying that Nintendo, fucked it up, but I just think that it just kind of was this unfortunate thing with this character. But you also get the designs of the champions. You have the Goron, you have the Gerudo, oh my god, the Ruto, I think that's what the bird people are called, the Ruto, if I remember correctly. And you have the Zoras, obviously. I love how the Zoras look in this game. They all look unique and diverse. They don't look typical or similar. Like when you go to Ocarina of Time, you look at the Zora, it's like, okay, Zora, they all look the same. Okay, yippee. And you go to Wind Waker, all the Ruto look the same. Oh man, yippee, they all look the same. The Gorons were the only ones that kind of looked somewhat different, but they kind of have the same kind of build, especially for the average size Gorons. It's a little weird, but those had excuses because of the platforms they were on. This is on the Wii U and the Switch, so they kind of could explore a little bit more. I don't know what Wind Waker's excuse was for why they weren't so diverse, dude, but it is what it is. I do like that each Zora is based off of a fish. I do think that's a cool little design that goes a long way. Like Mifa's design, I really loved it. I love the color. I love that she's like a red shark or a red fish. I don't know what she is. I just know she's a Zora. I do like the color scheme and the use of the iconic like blue coloring that they were going for with this game. Each character uses that pattern to represent that they are the champions of those divine beasts. So that's kind of why they went with that pattern. Obviously, it's an obvious design trick. Okay, but I do like that it kind of complements each character in how they have it fashioned. Arbosa was really one of my favorite characters in that game. I really like her design. Her role was interesting from what I remember. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a while, so a lot of this stuff is kind of rusty to me, but it is what it is. She's a cool character. I like kind of how she has like battle armor mixed in with her outfit. Pretty cool. Maybe too big of a nose. Maybe they went too crazy with the nose. I don't know. Who am I to talk, right? The Gorons, they look like Gorons. I do like how the champion Goron guy looks. Man, I cannot remember names. Is it Daruk? I don't fucking remember. Whoops. I'll have to look at the art book, dude. But I do like his facial hair. It's pretty cool. The bird guy. Oh my god. I had his name for the longest time. I remembered him, and now I don't remember him. But the Ruto guy, the Bluebird dude, I do like. He was one of my favorite characters, even though I can't remember his name. I like his cocky attitude. I don't know. I just like how he was just like so like, well, like I guess you're good, but you're not like me. I'm a little cooler. Like I do like that kind of balance that they had with him. So I do like some of the designs that play into this. This art book is a really solid art book. You also get nice designs of Ganondorf. Let me get into this a little bit. Ganondorf's design, I liked when it was like the parasite form. The first phase of that Ganondorf fight is really good. I really love how he looked. He looked scary, creepy. It's like a gigantic spider with lasers and shit. I fucking loved it. It was so insane and intense and like on edge. Like it got it got me. I was like, oh shit, this thing looks fucking fucked up. It was insane. I love how intricate the design is. And then you get to the second phase where he's like a beast Ganon or whatever. Fuck that design. That's kind of where that boss fight just took a nosedive for me. I like the first phase a lot more. Even gameplay-wise, the first phase was better. The second phase, visually, gameplay-wise, all falls flat on its face. Terrible part of the game. Easily the most forgettable. If Nintendo patched the game, removed that part, perfect game, flawless. Everyone would love it because, the Parasite Ganon look thing was the best, easily. I like how intricate that design is. It looks very creepy, unnerving, unsettling, threatening. I love it. I love the designs of the Guardians as well. It kind of plays into the design of Ganondorf in this game. I do like how they look. They both look menacing and kind of threatening and mysterious at the same time. Within the game, you get more lore about or more backstory on those machines, which I liked. I liked knowing more about them, but man, they're so creepy. I love it. I love when games make a design that is so creepy that you feel it. You feel it. Like in Resident Evil 4, you had the regenerators. Breath of the Wild, you had this fucked up Guardian nonsense that would just play this eerie piano music with and it's like, oh fuck, this thing's fucked up. Has tape arms and shit. Then you have Ganondorf, that's like a parasite that's crawling around with laser cannons and shit. Love it. I love when a design is so creepy you feel it. The other thing that this book has, it has a lot of interviews as well. By the end of it, it goes through a lot of detail, and I think it also shows you the storyboards of the cutscenes that they went through. They have story synapses on the side, like they kind of go through each character's story in a way. It's kind of a recap of what's in the game. So there is spoilers in this book if you're trying to go into this game cold. Uh, Now, I do want to talk about this book in terms of would I recommend this book? Definitely. I think if you are a fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you already own this. If you're a fan of Zelda, you already own this book. But let's say that you never played a Zelda game, or you're just a casual fan, you're on the fence, what have you, whatever. Would he get something out of this book? I think you would. I think the spoiler stuff is it's kind of uh, menial, I guess is the word. Like it's very like not significant because it's a Zelda game, for the most part. Like it has a cool story stuff with it, but it's not like, oh my god, I know that Zelda is saved. Oh man, it's nothing crazy like that. But I would still recommend this book because I think it offers a lot for you to enjoy. The art style is really good. It's a really solid art style that gets you really interested in seeing the other characters in it. This is another one of those art books I have yet to finish because I never get to finish it because I like looking at the other pages. It's weird. It's a book that I kind of go around to see the other stuff. It does have a lot of item art. I don't love item art. I get it. I get why it's there because art is part of designing those items, but I just don't care as much as character designs, environmental designs, that kind of stuff. I'm more about that than the items. But it's cool that it's in there. It's a cool collection. It's a nice little addition to it. So yeah, I do recommend this book if you are even a casual fan of Zelda. I think you'll get a lot out of it. It might even get you more invested with Zelda in of itself because this is such a diverse style of art in it that you kind of want to go to the other games and see how they compare, I guess. But it's a really nice book. I definitely recommend it. You will definitely get your money's worth because it's a very thick book. It's hardcover. It's done by Dark Horse. Dark Horse is a very good publisher when it comes to these kind of things. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, I have yet to be disappointed by a Dark Horse art book. They always give you a good presentation. They always give you nice deals, nice prices on Amazon. But you get what you pay for. Even like with this, the asking price of $40, it's worth it because it's a thick book, nice quality hardcover. Like when I open it, I don't really see the seams as much. I mean, there's some pages when you get into it, but that's kind of natural when they have like a heavy book. It kind of gravity pushes it down. But it's still a solid book. I really do enjoy Dark Horse books. They really know how to make them, and I think a lot of Dark Horse books also go the extra mile of getting commentary by the people who worked on the subject matter. Like, Persona 5 had a lot of commentary with the creators, but it's very minimal in that book. This goes into some detail with it. And same with their other books that they have published as well. Maybe I'll get into more of Dark Horse books in this video series later on. Who knows? But that's it for the art book segment of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are more curious about this book because it is really one of my favorite ones that I have. It might not be my all-time favorite, but it's easily like I could rank it in the top 5 easily. Maybe even top 10. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, this is one of the best art books you could get, at least from my current memory. But we will see until the next art book update. For this character of the month, I decided to go with Mitsuru Kirijo. I don't know if I pronounced that name correctly, but I know it's Mitsuru. She is from Persona 3, but I know her mostly from Persona 4 Arena. That was kind of my first introduction to the Persona franchise. And I really like that character's design. I liked her personality. She's like no nonsense. I really like a lot of stuff about her. I think she's very visually pleasing in terms of
character design, all this stuff on all levels. She was a very captivating character. Not saying that the other cast in Persona 4 Arena or just in Persona in general are not good design or well designed characters either. But I really gravitated to Mitsuru a lot when I was playing as her in fighting games. I really liked her attitude. I liked how it kind of carried into her gameplay a little bit. I liked her gameplay as well. I liked the sword combo she had. So there's a lot of stuff I liked about Mitsuru just initially. Her design, her personality, everything about it was very fun to watch and to kind of play with. So I decided to go with the Persona 4 arena design for her because I recently got into Persona 3 Portable last year and maybe even the year before that. I got into that game since I was playing a lot of Persona 5 and I wanted to see the other Persona games. And she was good in that game too. Like I liked her as a party member. I didn't really care for her as a navigator. I don't think that she was ever meant to be a navigator. I mean, it was kind of obvious when you get further into that story. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see why she becomes a party member because she's much more useful in that capacity. And she was just a lot of fun to bring on in the tower. I really liked going into that character's social link. That's the only social link I'm kind of really trying to get into. But I think you need to be like a very good student in Persona 3 to even have a chance to do anything with her. So I guess that's something because she's a very smart character in the game. She's like a honor student. She's the student council president. She has a lot going on with her. And I was reading the Persona 5 art book as well, and they kind of mentioned Mitsuru with Makoto. Like they were saying that Makoto was like a more clumsy version of her. Maybe not clumsy, but they use like some kind of goofy term to kind of compare her to Makoto. Like, yeah, Makoto's like kind of like Mitsuru in this game, but she's more of a joke kind of version of her. I mean, she's very like she tries really hard to get to the same level that Mitsuru is. Not that she knows who Mitsuru is, but you know what I mean. So I really liked kind of doing the sketch of Mitsuru, and it was kind of fun. Thinking about this character. She's a very fun character in the Persona franchise. I really, really am glad that she was in a lot of Persona spin-offs. Like she's in the Persona 3 dancing game, obviously. She's in Persona 4 Ultimax Arena, whatever. That's a good game, but she's a very solid character to even play as in a fighting game. So that will be my Artcast episode. I would like to thank all you guys for watching this podcast, and I would like to wish you guys a very happy week. Hope you guys have a great week coming up, and thanks for watching. Out now, ain't that on the rival? Round up around, spit out all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, come in the crowd. Watch out the moon, they diss you out. This was this sound and bombs whole ground. So round up, don't ease your pace, cause enemies brutal. Home of the truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one world, one love. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction. Oh yeah, down, down, baby, baby. Oh yeah. Reality, never be charity. The enemy you're fighting covers all society. Damn right, mom's not here, gonna fight all night. Right here, shadow 10 o'clock direction. Seize the moment, destroy the nation. You rhyme slow motion, give me motivation. Breathe out now, ain't that on the rival. Round up around, spit out all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, come in the crowd. Watch out the moon, they diss you out. This was this sound and bombs whole ground. So round up, don't ease your pace, cause enemies brutal. Home of the truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one world, one love. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction. Oh yeah, down, 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 down.